church again. Welcome, you are very, very welcome. So this morning we are going to start off straight away with a family game. So I've got a good game lined up for you. It's a bit like a treasure hunt. You're going to have to go and find various items from your house, and these are going to be items that begin with a letter. We've got 5 rounds, 5 letters that you need to find. So what you need to do is team yourselves up with a grown-up and a child for each round. So it's going to be a grown-up versus a child to see who can bring the item first, and whoever brings wins. That's the winning item. So the beauty of this is it's virtual church. So I'm going to explain the instructions a little bit more, and then you can just press pause while you organise yourselves in your family. Now, if there's only one grown-up and one child in your family, or 2 children, you're going to be working quite hard this morning. So I hope this works in your household. I hope this works virtually as well. We'll find out. Okay, so again, there's going to be 5 rounds, 5 letters. You need to team yourself up, a child with a grown-up for each one. You can swap those around and you can press pause at any point. So, right, in my household, I have my 2 volunteers. I have Ella and her dad, Craig. They're going to be the ones hunting for the objects. So here we go. We're going to start. So you can press pause now if you need to. Right, we're back again. Okay, so your first letter is P. P. Anything beginning with P. Off you go. Quick, quick. Hurry up. Oh my goodness. That was very quick. I think the plant won. Ella's won the plant. Excellent. So that's your P. Okay, so moving on to the next letter. This is round 2. Something beginning with E or E. Off you go. I've told them they can only use the kitchen for this, so let's hope. Oh, elephant. Oh, Ella wins again. She's quite fast with that. So we have P for plant, E for elephant. Okay, they're the winners. So Ella has won twice. Craig, a bit shocking really. You need to get your game up here. Okay, your next letter is A or A. Off you go. Oh no, Craig's winning! And he brings an avocado. There we go, beautiful avocado. So we have P-E-A. Next letter, curly cur, C. And they're off. Right. Oh, they're in the fridge. Ella's in the fridge. Craig's banging cupboards. No idea what they're going to bring. Oh, Ella's winning! Not yet! And crackers. Craig's crackers. Blue. So Ella, Craig, Ella. Ella is definitely winning. Okay. P-E-A-C. Your next letter, your final letter is E. Off you go. Go, 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 go. Who's going to win? Who's going to win? I think Ella has won already, actually. Oh, here we go. An egg. Beautiful. Craig won that one. So Craig has won twice and Ella 3 times. Yay, Ella's the winner. So we have P-E-A-C-E, which spells peace, of course. And peace is what we're going to be talking about this morning. How God gives us his peace, his gift of peace when we are worried and anxious or angry or upset, all those things that we've been feeling at the moment, he can give us peace. So we're going to learn about that this morning. We have got Sally. I really hope she's in a boat. She's going to give us a story about peace in a boat, I've heard, with water, I hope. We've got Tasha, who's going to be doing crafts, so get your square piece of paper ready and your junk modelling ready for Tasha, who's going to be doing crafts. And we've got Clair Hamilton, who's going to be maybe with her kids, I don't even know. I don't get to see them beforehand. She'll be doing a little story with puppets, so that will be great. And we've got Marion and her family doing some worship this morning, and I think I'm doing some prayers. So I hope you really enjoy it and you're blessed this morning.
Who's the king of the jungle? Who's the king of the sea? Who's the king of the universe? And who's the king of me? I'll tell you, J-E-S-U-S. He's the king of me. He's the king of the universe, the jungle and the sea. Who's the king of the jungle? Who's the king of the sea? Who's the king of the universe? And who's the king of me? I'll tell you, J-E-S-U-S.
Dear Bobby, how are you? I'm doing okay. This week, our family have watched 3 films, been in the garden for hours, and played 35 games of Uno. Here is a joke for you. What do you call a dog magician? A labracadabrador. He'll like that one. Right. We've been thinking about peace this week. I wonder if you can think of any Bible stories about peace. Shall I tell you the one I thought about? It's the story of where Jesus calms the storm. You can find it in Luke chapter 8. A famous painter called Rembrandt painted a picture of it. Here it is. Have a look at it. Right, how to do this. So, there's the picture. Copy. Now, and paste. Paste. There we go. Right, I wonder if I can make it a bit bigger. There. That's better. Now, have you ever been out in a storm? I remember once standing at the top of a hill, and the wind was so strong that I could lean all the way forward into it and not fall over. The wind held me up. It was good fun in the end, but to start with, I was quite scared. Everyone in the boat with Jesus must have been very scared. No wonder they were cross that Jesus was asleep. I love the fact that when they wake up Jesus, he just tells the wind to stop, and it does. Sometimes life feels like a bit of a storm. There are arguments, work, people being poorly, and not going to clubs. I sometimes wish Jesus would calm that storm. But that got me wondering, what if Jesus wants to use me to be calm when my house feels all stormy? I have tried it this week. When things got a bit stormy, I asked Jesus to help me to be calm. And guess what? He did. That helped everyone else to be calm. Does that make sense? Maybe you could have a go this week. Let me know how you get on. Right, pizza for tea. I know lots of jokes about pizza, but they're all too cheesy. Ha! Bye! From Auntie Flo. Brilliant. Now send.
Hi, great to see you all. I hope you're doing well. Today we're just going to do a little story about how Jesus calmed a storm. And this is so that you can know about, even in the most weird situation when things seem really troubled, Jesus is able to give you peace. So today we're reading from Matthew 9 verse 27. Jesus taught a crowd of people. He healed many of them. And then at the end of the day, he said to his disciples, "Let us get into a boat and cross the lake." So his disciples got into a boat and started to cross the lake. Jesus quickly fell asleep. All of a sudden, from nowhere, a massive storm came. The wind howled, the sea was so rough, the disciples were terrified. But Jesus slept on. They tried to wake him, saying, "Master, Master, don't you care? Don't you care?" Jesus woke up and he said, "Why are you afraid? Do you have no faith?" And then he said to the storm, "Be still." And the storm was calm. The disciples were terrified and yet amazed. Who is this man that even the wind and the waves obey him? And this is what
So we're going to be making some junk modelling boats. I hope you've been saving your recycling from last week. I'm going to be making my boat from one of these trays that chickens come on. I found a skewer to make a mast, but you might want to have a rowing boat instead of a boat with a mast. So I've made a hole in the base of here and I'm going to put the skewer through, and this is going to be my mast for my boat. And then I'm going to be sellotaping on a sail. You might also want to use some lolly sticks to put some oars on with sellotape. And if you haven't got a skewer, you could use a straw. You could also use all sorts of different sizes and shapes according to what kind of boat you want. So we're going to make our boats and then we're going to try putting them on some water. So we're going to make an origami boat. We're going to start by folding the paper in half. Then we're going to turn it and fold it in half again. Now I'm going to open it out and fold one bit into the middle and then the other bit into the middle to make a point on top. Then I'm going to bring this side up, then turn the paper over and bring the other side up. And then we have our boat. I'm going to do it again, just so you can do it with me. So, I'm going to fold the paper in half. Then we're going to turn it and fold it in half again. Then we're going to open it out and make one side come in and the other side come in. So we've got a nice point on there. Then we're going to bring this side up at the bottom, turn it over and bring this side up, and then we have an origami boat. So we thought we'd put our boats in the bath and try and make a storm and see what happened. I put in some sea creatures for added peril. Now it turns out my jug modelling boat is a much better boat than the origami boat, but I thought we'd get some wind and see what happens. See if we can sink any of these boats. Whoa! That lady's well dressed for a nice boat trip. Gosh, I think I need to make a bit of waves. See what? Try to sink. Oh my goodness! Oh dear, we got some drowning people here. Oh, it's not looking good. Woo! Look at the waves. This is not looking good for our boat trip. And oh no! Oh dear, you got eaten by a hippo.
So we are going to do a little bit of chatting to God or praying. So sometimes when I pray, I like to find a different kind of place to be in. So I have got down on the floor because I think that's quite nice to be on the floor sometimes. It feels different and it helps me sometimes to really focus my head on God a bit. So we're going to do a little bit of chatting to God. We're going to tell him some things, and then we're going to ask him a couple of questions and see if he wants to speak to us. And I believe that God always wants to speak to us. So here we go. First of all, find yourself a comfortable place to be in. Just quickly, find somewhere comfy. Make sure you're not going to get distracted by anyone, and you can close your eyes if you want to. It's totally up to you. Now, these are little things that we're going to say to God, and we're going to kind of say them inside our head. You don't have to say them out loud because you're probably with some other people in your room. So you could either say them in your head, or you can kind of whisper them into your hands so that other people can't hear them. But this is your time with God, a little bit of space where you can chat to God yourself. So the first thing we could do, and you can close your eyes. Did I say that? You can close your eyes or keep them open. The first thing I want to say is tell God one thing that has made you really laugh this week. I'll give you a moment so that you can tell God that, like this, or in your head. Okay. Tell God one animal that you absolutely love. I know some of you have been looking at some 3D animals on your phone. So tell God now one animal that you really love. Okay, last thing. Tell God now one thing that has made you feel really sad or really maybe upset or scared even this week. Okay, well done. Now, it would be good to ask God some things, and remember that we can hear from God using our whole body. So sometimes he can drop something into our head, sometimes he can help us to feel something on our skin, or he can give us just a sense of his love or his peace in our hearts. So you may well get something from God. You might get a picture. So we're just going to ask God some questions. So I'm going to give you a question for you to ask God, and then I'm going to wait a few seconds and see what he has to say to all of us. And then I'm going to give you one more question. So just 2 questions to ask God. Okay, so the first question is, dear God, what can we do this week? Just you and me, God. What can we do together that will help me feel more peaceful and calm inside my heart? Okay, next question. Who could I talk to this week who will help to make them feel less lonely? So who can I talk on the phone to or FaceTime this week that will help them to feel less lonely? Okay, amen. So that's a really good way that we can talk to God and hear him speak to us as well. So we've come to the end of Children's Church this week. I really hope you've enjoyed it. I hope that this week you'll be able to spend a bit of time chatting to God about peace and knowing that his peace is with you at all times. So it is Palm Sunday. I don't know if you realise, but it is Palm Sunday this week, which means it's a week until Easter and chocolate and eggs and knowing that Jesus is with us because he rose again, which is such an exciting thing to know. So in the main service, normally we would be walking around the service. If we were all together, we'd be walking around waving some palm trees to celebrate Jesus's entrance into the city of Jerusalem. But we're not going to be together. But instead, I know that Tim and Bev Dobson have done a little recording teaching us how to make their amazing newspaper palm trees. So, in order to be really ready for this, kids and grown-ups, obviously, you need to get yourself a piece of newspaper. So I don't know if you can see that. There we go. And some sellotape. And you need to be ready with that because Tim and Bev are going to teach you how to roll it up and make a fantastic palm tree so that you can wave it around during worship in the main service. So I hope you really enjoy that. So I just need to let you know that next week, because it is Easter, we won't be doing a special children's church at all. We'll be joining everyone together with a family service at 10:30. So I hope you, hope you have a lovely week.